Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In the series of pattern printing, so far we have seen so many patterns. In this video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So if you could carefully see this particular pattern, we are having 1 in middle, and to the right side and left side, we are keep increasing these values. Going to the right side, we have 5, and going to the left side, we are still have 5. So we will go ahead and see how we can actually print this particular pattern. So in order to print this particular pattern, we can see we have 5 rows, right? Row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 rows. So for that, I will take a variable rows and I will assign the rows as 5. So later we can see we have these spaces, right, to the left side. So we first need to print these spaces so that we can get the exact pattern. So in order to keep track of these spaces, I will be using a spaces variable. So first we need to assign an initial value to the spaces so that we can keep track of the spaces. So if you could carefully see this particular pattern, we have one single this particular thing here, and apart from this we are having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 spaces. We have got 8 spaces here, which are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we have got 8 spaces. So for that, what I will be doing is that I will multiply these rows with 2 and I will subtract with -1 so that we -2 so that we can get the 8 spaces. Because why I am using this particular logic is that if we change the value of rows, this if we just simply mention 8, so that pattern will be differ. So for that, we are deriving this particular logic from this particular rows here. So later we change the rows, we will still have the spaces exactly that matches to the pattern. So later what we will be doing is that in order to print this many number of rows, what I will be doing is that I will use a for loop for I in range. So now we will be generating a range of values. So the range of values that we will be generating is 1 to 5, because that is what the value we are having here, even to the left side or even to the right side in these diagonals. So for that, what I will be doing is that I will start with 1 and go till the value of rows plus 1. Rows is having 5, and by mentioning rows plus 1, this range functionality stops us at the value 5. So now in this, what I will be doing is that I will just print the value I in order to know what values we are having here. So we are having the values 1 2 3 4 5 in the left side, and in the right side we can see the values 1 2 3 4 5. So first we will start at the left side, so later we will print at right side. So in order to start with the left side, we are starting with this particular diagonal values which are I here, and going till the value 1 at this center value. So for that, in every single row we are starting with this particular I value and going till the value 1. So these are repeating in every single row here. So for that, what I will be doing is that we have these repeated statements. For that, I will be using one more for loop for j in range. So now we will be generating the range of values. As we have discussed, in every single row, these values are starting with value I and going till the value 1. So for that, I will start with value I and go till the value 1. So for that only I have mentioned 0. If you got any confusion in understanding this range function, I will sincerely suggest you to watch my video about range, where I have explained clearly about how this range works. So here I am going till the value 0 so that I can stop at the value 1 here. So later I am reducing this with -1 because we are getting reduced from left to right? So for that reason only I am mentioning -1. In this for loop, instead of printing this particular I will print the value j here. So now you can see the values, exact values 1 2 1 3 2 1 4 3 2 1 5 4 3 2 1. So these are the exact values that we are having till this particular point. So now we will arrange these values so that we can get the half pattern. So for that, I am mentioning an end with single space so that we can get all values in the single line, because by default this end having new line, So for that we have got everything in a new line. Now we have got everything in a single line. So after this I am using a print here, because after once we reaches to the value 1 by using this for loop, we need to get a new line in this format. For that reason, as and when we have completed this particular inner for loop, I am mentioning a single print. By using this, we can get the pattern in this way. So we have got the values in this format, but we need to get in the reverse direction, because we first need to print spaces, then only we need to print these numbers. For that, as and when we enter into this inner outer for loop, I am printing a space and multiplying the space with the spaces variable. Why we are using this? Because we are using the spaces variable in order to keep track of the spaces, right? So after that I will be using an end with nothing. So by default this end is having new line. For now we don't want any new line, for that reason I am mentioning with nothing. After completion of this, we are getting the spaces are reduced by 2 on each new line, right? So for that reason, after completion of this inner for loop, I will reduce these spaces by 2. So now if I execute this, we can get the exact half pattern which is here till this particular one. So now we have got the half pattern. So later we will be printing this particular half pattern. So before printing this remaining half pattern, so far if you found this video understanding and interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. So in order to print this particular remaining half pattern, we again need to use one more for loop here. So because in this outer for loop we need to use for loop, because to print this particular remaining half pattern. So for that what I will be using is for k in, because in every single row we have seen the value of I, right? In the values of I we have 1 2 3 4 5, and if you could observe this particular right pattern, in every single row we are starting with 2 and going till the value I. So I hope you can remember the value I, which are 1 2 3 4 5, which are exactly in this diagonal, right? So in every single row we are starting with value 2 and going till the value I. So for that reason, in this for loop, as we have repeated statements, in this for loop we will be using k in range. So the range of values, as we have discussed, starting with 2 and going till the value of I plus 1. So by mentioning this I plus 1, we can reach to the value I. So in this, I will print the value k here so that we can able to get the values, right? So here we are getting the values as 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the exact values that you can see in this right pattern. So we have got the values. So now we need to arrange those values so that we can able to get the exact pattern. So for that I will be using this particular end with a space, and after completion of this particular printing this particular loop which is going till the value I need to print a new line character so that we can able to get in this format. So now if I execute this, so we can able to get the pattern in this way. So the reason is because we are printing new line in here which is in the 7th line and here which is in the 12th line. So we need to print a new line after completion of both of these for loops. For that reason we need to remove this new line here and we only keep the new line in here by this simple print statement here. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the exact pattern. That is what we have expected above. So I hope you can able to understand this logic to generate this particular pattern. So now if you find any difficulty while understanding this logic, I sincerely suggest you to watch the video once again carefully so that you can understand this logic clearly. So now we will dynamically take input of these rows from the user. So for that I am asking input and asking enter rows here. So now if I execute this, if I give the value 3 here, so still we can able to get the pattern. In middle we are having 1, to the right side and left side we have got 2's and 3's. So now if I give let's say value 9 here, so we can see the pattern. In middle we have 1 and going to the right side keeps it increasing till the value 9, and in the left side also keep increasing till the value 9. So now I hope you can able to understand this logic. to generate this kind of a pattern by any number given by the user. In the next video, we will see how we can actually print this particular pattern by using this kind of similar logic. So here we have got the reverse pattern, right? So to watch this video, to keep continuously updated with my latest videos, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications to all, so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.